How did you tell him you were going to retire?
Yeah, it was important for me to tell him personally as well.
How did you do it?
Because of the battle that we've had and everything. And first of all, I just wrote a message before the actual announcement, and then afterwards we got together and had a chat about it, and just went through a few stuff, and it was a nice conversation. And I'm open to finding our way, and even having a good relationship again in the future. Why not?
If you had not retired, what do you think the likelihood is you and Lewis could have coexisted long-term together as teammates?
For sure we could have coexisted, which we have shown for the last 3 years, that it works. It works really well, because we push each other to such a high level that we all benefit from it. Both of us drivers, the team, so it works really well. Just that you have to accept that there's going to be some very difficult moments. It's a very, very unique story that when we were 14 years old, we were both racing for the same go-kart team for Mercedes-Benz McLaren at the time, and we're best friends, and we went on holiday to Greece, sat at dinner, and said, imagine if in 15 years' time we're going to be in the best Formula One team together, racing against each other for the championships. And then 15 years later it happens, and that's quite insane.
How much do you think you both believed at that time that it would happen?
I don't think you can believe that as a 14-year-old, because you're in go-karting. Formula One is so far away and so huge. You have the Michael Schumachers at the time dominating that world. That it's not, of course, it can be a dream, but to really believe that you're going to be there, I think difficult.
Lewis told me in our taping that, friendship with the teammates almost impossible. What do you think led to the kind of friendship starting to fall apart?
It's so much at stake. It's the World Championship in Formula One, which is our childhood dream. And so it's nearly impossible. As long as one doesn't accept to be second and the other guy first, or accept that one is better and the other is worse. So as long as you're both wanting to beat the other guy and thinking that you're better than the other guy, and you can't really be friends because it's so intense. And especially if you're within the same team, it's such a complicated situation, because the team, we're driving both for the team, to achieve have great success for Mercedes. But at the same time, we have to think about ourselves and try and beat the other guy.
And it's completely unusual for a team to have two number one drivers.
Very unusual in our sport. Yeah, it's happened a handful of times in the history of the sport, in the 75 years, that the two guys within the same team are battling each other so intensely for the World Championship year in, year out. Especially on a 3-year run, that's never happened in the sport before.
When the relationship was at its worst or at its lowest point, what did the interaction between the two of you entail?
There wasn't much.
There wasn't?
No, because at times it was really difficult. In Spain, we took each other out, and from the lead, both first and second, and had a massive crash. Both went flying off the track, and that's some intense times, and also internally discussing that, very difficult.
When the two of you are sitting down together with the team, trying to resolve the issues, what's transpiring in the room in a situation like that?
Well, they try and remind us that we're here for the good of the team. And so we must put aside our ego thinking and remember that in everything we say, especially to the outside, to the media, we're here for the good of the team. And so that's really important. But the team really, they did a good job in the end with managing us, because the most important thing is to remain neutral and whenever possible not to take sides. And they managed to do that quite well, so in the end, we always came through such difficult moments, and more or less it worked out, and the relationship was okay until the very end.